Welcome to WK-ROC Right on Chime Geekly Weekly News, where I discuss this week's geek-tastic happenings over the past week. This is Chime bringing you all news and no fluff, so you can know what's happening now in the world of geek, live on Twitch, and then not so live on YouTube. The Spike Game Awards was on Monday evening, and had some great premieres and announcements that came along with it. Among them, some notable announcements were Rocket League coming to the Xbox One, which is great since it won Best Racing Game this year due to how competitive it really is. Other great-looking games that they showed off during the awards show were Far Cry Primal, which seems to be a first-person game set in the Stone Age, Quantum Break, which seems to be a cooler version of Hero from the show Heroes, in which he manipulates time, and Rock Band VR. Rock Band VR is a collaboration of Harmonix and the Oculus Rift dev teams to create an immersive Rock Band experience. One of the big announcements of the show came from Tim Schafer of Double Fine, announcing the attempt at a Kickstarter for Psychonauts 2. At the announcement, they were at $0 out of their $3.3 million goal. As of this broadcast, they're already just under $2 million. Nintendo got in on the announcement action and made a major announcement yesterday for Minecraft for Wii U. The game will be available on December 17th for $29.99, and will include 6 of the most popular add-on packs bundled with it. The game will be available on the Nintendo eShop for Wii U specifically, and will continue to get updates and more content later on. This week, DC dropped the Batman vs. Superman trailer and a short teaser of footage from the movie that has Superman unmask Batman. Spoiler alert, it was Bruce Wayne under that mask. As for whether or not this scene was actually something that happens, sources confirm that this was a nightmare that Bruce is having, so if you were turned off by this sequence, relax. It's not like they're going to rewrite DC history or anything with this. Well, not in that instance. But the same sources do confirm now that the Flash will cameo in this film, possibly as Barry Allen, and that this film takes place 8 months after The Man of Steel. Mortal Kombat announced their second patch of downloadable characters this week with the Combat Pack 2. Bo Rai Cho, the Drunken Master, and Triborg, whom holds the powers of Cyrax, Sector, and Robot Smoke, round out by adding some classic feel to the mix. But the 2 major add-ons are Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre and a Xenomorph from the Aliens franchise. These last 2 characters are beginning to change the face of the game and could bring out a possibility of NetherRealms making a classic sci-fi and horror mashup game. This adds to the current media icons in this game of Jason Voorhees of Friday the 13th and Predator, as well as Freddy Krueger in the previous game. I'm kind of hoping Ash from the Evil Dead movies shows up to help level among the good guys some. PlayStation Experience event took place this week in San Francisco. Several minor announcements came forth, but the only one that seems to be making headlines is the Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer that was being shown. This trailer showed off a portion of the original game's opening mission, taking down the Shinra reactor. The gameplay has been changed dramatically, moving from old-school turn-based fights to a more modern post-Final Fantasy XII real-time fight layout. Watching the battles looked very much like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy XIII. The game has also been announced to be split into multiple sections, possibly making it episodic. I know how long the original game was, and by those standards, they could easily turn this into a 30 to 50 chapter game, especially if they add in Crisis Core and the other side games to the mix. Sony snuck one in when Star Wars Battlefront came out, giving a bundle of games, some of which seemed to emulate PlayStation 2, making the hardcore gamers raise an eyebrow at the possibilities. Turns out they were right. PlayStation 4 now has the ability to download a handful of PlayStation 2 classics. Besides a few from the Battlefront release and Final Fantasy VII, we now have games like Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, as well as Dark Cloud, The Mark of Cry, War of the Monsters, Rogue Galaxy, and Twisted Metal Black, with pricing between $10 and $15. Upcoming announced titles include Parappa the Rapper 2 and The King of Fighters 2000. All PS2 games available will have their own trophies for hardcore completionists. Only 11 more days until Star Wars Episode 7 comes out, 67 days until the Deadpool movie, 109 days until Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, and 151 days until Captain America Civil War. For those of you watching live, I will not be streaming a game tonight, but will instead stream late tomorrow evening on Tuesday, playing some games I haven't played before, as I got a new processor on this machine today. Otherwise, this was Right on Chime, Geekly Weekly News. Chime on, folks.